Boom, 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 boom. Do, 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 do. Hello everyone, welcome. It's a very quick live stream for me today, just going over some news. I'm meant to be on holiday, it's my daughter's birthday. Well, it has been my daughter's birthday, but I've got it this weekend. So I've prepped all her presents, about to go and pick her up from school and stuff. But there is some big news about survival stuff, and it's going to be coming in later on. A huge amount of reveals and release dates, and I feel like I should cover this a little bit at least. So yeah, let's get on with this stuff. Let's check that on. Make sure I've got all the stuff going on with the promo. Make sure I've got it in the right spot. So I won't be necessarily taking too many questions or anything. I'm just going to rattle off a bunch of info about what I think I know and what I don't know, etc. Live now, future survival. We'll do that. We'll just do a quick and dirty one to all my Discord people. So what's going on today? Well, apparently Last OASIS could be coming to the Xbox today. I actually think it'll end up being a release date. I don't think it's going to be today. I could be wrong. We're going to go through the details of that. Last OASIS is a PvP multiplayer game that's been on PC a year. We'll briefly cover what the good and bad parts of that. There are a bunch of other stuff as well though. We've got Stalker 2, which is also going to be having more, it's not gameplay today, but more dev stuff. That is happening later on today as part of the Xbox ID program. Now the Xbox ID program is pretty much a way for Microsoft to get behind loads of other smaller games and stuff like that. And so they've got an event starting at 5 PM tonight in the UK. So that's 12 PM Eastern time. It's going to be on Twitch. You really do want to maybe check it out. It's also going to have Second Extinction. I'm predicting a release date for Second Extinction. That's the dinosaur sort of Left 4 Dead game where it's a co-op survival game where you pretty much run around a map shooting dinosaurs, completing objectives. They've also got VoidTrain, which is a survival game where it's a train that carries on going through time and space and dimensions, and it is a survival game where you have to collect components, make weapons, fight enemies as this train goes through. Little elements of Portal mixed into it as well. Something I haven't really covered on the channel, but I have been keeping an eye on it. So definitely want to try and check this out a little bit more as well. That looks like that's going to be getting a release date on Xbox. Maybe not this year, but 2022. So yeah, pretty much Xbox is the place to be for survival. Now I've put that as a bit of a bait trap for the title. Get the angry PlayStation fans in here. I love PlayStation. I think PlayStation have done some good things. They've got the Forest though, and that's the really only one decent thing they've got in terms of survival against another platform. Xbox is where it's at because you get to play the game preview versions. Now, sometimes it's not always good. Look at Ark, look at Atlas, especially Atlas is a shit show, but they were in game preview. You got a chance to play them early. You got a chance to actually help with development. It does look like a lot of games are happening. Rust is also looking likely to have a release date later today. That's my big guess and my assumption. So we'll go through this little trailer that they've got. And if we watch the trailer, you'll see the game developers. I'll try and pause it exactly the right time. The developers that are taking part in this thing. Oh my God, it's loud. Jesus Christ, it's loud. I haven't got loads of time today. That's why I'm doing this on the quick. I was going to do a video, but I've run out of time. I ain't got time. There we go. Right. So if we take a look, we've got Double 11. Now Double 11 obviously work on Minecraft Dungeons, but at the moment they're working on Rust. Minecraft Dungeons isn't an ID program style game, but Rust is. So I'm fully expecting later on that they're going to announce more about the details about the extension of the beta. If you don't know, it is available on PlayStation, it is, but they seem to have a bit more of a marketing deal with Xbox too. I reckon they're going to announce the release date tonight on this Xbox program. I reckon we'll see the release date, and I'm predicting it's going to be around, I'm hoping it's going to be April or June, but I reckon it will be May that it comes to everyone. So 5 PM tonight, tell me if I'm wrong, tell me if I'm right, come back here and let me know, guys. But I fully expect that to happen tonight, that Rust will announce a release date of the game fully for everyone. They've extended the beta already by 1 week. I reckon they'll try and lock it down after that to give themselves a few more. But I guess the main thing is Last OASIS today. Now, you guys have been telling me it's going to happen. They're having a wipe. So they've been doing wipes every few months on PC. Everything gets wiped. Everyone starts again. They add new content, big updates, new walkers. The trouble is, though, lots of people assuming this would happen with the Xbox launch, because when they announced before Christmas, they said that when it comes to it, they'll have a wipe, they'll add new servers, and they'll incorporate Xbox, which is going to be crossplay. So just like Atlas is, if you're playing Last Oasis, you will be playing with PC players on your Xbox as well as PC. I just got a feeling though, I don't think this will be today. I think it will be an announcement today. I feel like it would be too much of a problem for people having to download it, get used to it, get onto the game, to then throw them straight away in with Steam without any heads up at all. Players, seems a bit weird. And it's all big servers. Like, that's the way Last Oasis works. Last Oasis isn't a great game. I like it. I thought it had some good elements, but it wasn't enough to keep my channel going when I covered it last year. 64% of the reviews are mixed. That's not a good score. That's just not. The players that have been playing it have been pretty dead. Even before announces of wipes and shit like that, the amount of people playing this game has dropped quite a bit. Like, you know, I was trying to defend it and say it happens, but actually not to this low extent. Not a game that had such a big start, 33,000. I don't think it's going to happen that this game is suddenly going to become the world's biggest game just because it launches on Xbox. But I'm hoping it'll help. Last Oasis desperately needs some PvE content. It's too focused on big clan warfare. They have not added in anything really to help with that over the last year. They've added a few features, but it's still not enough to keep PvE farmers happy. There's still way too much going on with Zergs and big clans. I haven't got to admit, I haven't kept up to date fully with it in the last few months. Been too busy doing other stuff. But yeah, it does look like Last Oasis could be good, but they've got to start focusing a little bit on the PvE Care Bears. Now, to be fair, they've always labelled themselves a PvP game. They've always said they're a PvP game. They've never said they're going to be here for PvEers, but they have showed stuff off in the past, like roadmaps and stuff, where they would talk about adding new bits and bobs. In terms of their roadmap, what they promised last year, most of it has come good. They have added a bunch of stuff. I've got big respect for them as developers and getting their game out there, but they've had quite a few hiccups. Their launch was terrible, with server connections being bad, and that's what's give it really a bad score overall. In terms of players, 18,000 reviews, that means they're probably close to selling, I would say, around 500 to 600,000 copies, maybe more than that, and so that's a good number. That means that they have made enough money to carry on developing it well. They're not suddenly going to cancel the game next month. With it coming out on Xbox now as well, I hope this really does kickstart the game. It can be the catalyst, but they need to fucking add some PvE content. They do. Like, people just don't want to do the only thing is going around in Zergs. It's boring. You need something else to do. So fingers crossed they'll do that as well. But yeah, that's what I'm presuming today, Kai Newman. That they're going to reveal the release date. It could be today. It could be today. I tried reaching out to social media manager. Ain't going to lie. Bit of a waste. Didn't reply back to me. I know people are busy, but fucking hell, get the word out there a little bit to some content creators. Doesn't look like they've prepped anything else with anyone. It's only purely Xbox, this reveal. But yeah, they're happening today. They are going to be doing something. We know this as well because it's all just coinciding. They've said they were launching in Q1. It's the end of Q1, literally, like this month. So it could be launching today. So there could be a stealth release. I won't be taking part this weekend. I've got my kids. But maybe come Monday or Tuesday, if they can sort me out a key, I might likely give it a go again. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. I really like the game. I think the game is great. I guess I should really show off some of the game so that you guys know exactly what I'm talking about if you haven't seen it at all. I covered it quite extensively when it launched. For a while, it felt like I was only one of the few people still covering it. But then it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough to keep my channel going. So I just couldn't do it. I couldn't stay with a game that wasn't anyone playing and no one was really watching. It's just like, it's impossible to stick with a game like that. But I did enjoy it. There's lots of clan warfare. There's lots of combat. They've been adding controller support for the last few weeks. That's why everyone thinks it's happening, that they're going to launch with Xbox now. One good bit of news, one really good bit of news, and some people might go, ugh, no. But the people that ported Ark over to the PlayStation, Abstraction, they're responsible for the last Oasis port. I found that out the other day. They're also responsible for the Mass Effect remaster. Just a little throwaway comment there. I like that game. But they're going to be doing that as well for everyone. Abstraction did a good job, by the way. Like, as much as I might bitch and complain about games like Ark not being great nowadays, to get that game running on an Xbox or a PlayStation back in the day was a big achievement. And they got it running on a PlayStation. They had, when they were in charge of updates, things weren't as bad. Ever since they stopped doing updates to the game, which they did about 2018, the quality of updates went even worse. Hence why whenever Ark gets updated now, it's broken as fuck. Like, literally broken as fuck. Like, it's one of the worst. So, yeah, I'd have to be careful with that. But yeah, Abstraction are the port team responsible for Last Oasis coming to console. They've been helping out with PC, getting optimization done and stuff as well. So that's good as well. But basically, it's a tile system game where you have to control these tiles, which are servers. And these servers, the commodity is water, and you've got to basically use the water to survive. You then find items that can help you craft these huge walkers. And with these walkers and stuff, you can go and wage warfare and take on other players and stuff. There's all sorts of different style walkers. They've added a bunch. They haven't got any of that kind of stuff. They've not added any sort of PvE content. And this is what I was talking about with PvE content. There was promising big things like these sandworms. And a year later, they still haven't added them to the game. And these are meant to be like event style things where you would take on these creatures maybe together and then split the loot or fight the loot. It's a big PvP focused game. I don't want them to become a Care Bear game. But yeah, they do seem to have really gone a little bit too hard and not done enough to try and lure PvE players in. Just from what I've seen off the reviews lately and a lot of stuff on Reddit, that's the general consensus that I've come across. I could be wrong on that, I could be. But it's a decent game. It's a decent game. You reckon it's wipe in 3.5 hours? Well, they did say that the wipe was happening a little bit sooner than that, I'm pretty sure. But let's take a look at that. I did just have it up on my thingy. Last Oasis. 6 AM Eastern. So that's gone. That was like 10 o'clock this morning, 11 o'clock this morning. So it should be up. So I guess it will be... oh no, it's going to be going down at 6 AM. My apologies. So it will be down. Yes, you're right. All right, 3 hours. 3 hours. I reckon it will coincide with the reveal on the Xbox show. So make sure you're watching Twitch today. If I didn't have my kids, I probably would watch this show. A few other things to note. Second Extinction. Co-op game, that's coming. I reckon we're going to get a release date of that. Will it be today? Maybe. I reckon it will be a release date at some point in the future. They've said it's going to come this spring. So, you know, I reckon it will be an April or May release. I'll be really surprised if it's all good and it releases today. Great stuff. But I just got a feeling it will be. It's made by the same sort of publishing and development company as the guys that made Generation Zero, and some of them that used to make Just Cause games beforehand. And so this is like kind of like Left 4 Dead, but with dinosaurs. It's okay. I found it a bit boring, a bit repetitive when it launched on PC. Since then, they've had a couple new updates. They've added a few new dinosaur types. They've made it a little bit more open world so you can play. But the biggest problem with it was it wasn't great for solo players. It was horrendously bad. Like, you just couldn't play it on your own. Not without being some super tryhard. So hopefully they've dialed that down a little bit. It is meant to be a co-op game, and that's the focus of it. But most people, a lot of people, don't like playing multiplayer games together. They want to play just on their own. So yeah, interesting with the dinosaurs and stuff like that. I would say it's a pretty decent one. But yeah, we'll see what's going on. Where's the likes, guys? 62 of you in here and only 9 likes. I'm doing this on my daughter's goddamn birthday. Come on, where's them likes? Stalker 2. We're not getting any gameplay today. I'm a bit disappointed. I was hoping this would be a multiplayer game. I just said that not every game has to be multiplayer, but I like the idea of this one being a multiplayer game. It's not. It's going to be a single player game. Obviously, it's a sequel to a game that's like a cult hit for years, but it's the first time it's coming to consoles. So it'll be on Xbox. I think it's exclusive on Xbox. I could be wrong on that as well. Pretty much Resident Evil meets sort of Escape from Tarkov, with a little bit of dimension warping and shit in it as well. Maybe the best way to explain it. They've got a bunch of stuff today where they're showing off like the teeth of the game. Apparently that's all you need to know. God damn, it's age restricted. I don't know why it's age restricted. Maybe because I don't know. It's just weird. I can't really pick it out now because it's just been stupid. But effectively, they're showing off gun models and stuff like that. So that's the kind of stuff you'll see later on as part of the ID program. VoidTrain, that's the other one I wanted to really show off and talk about. VoidTrain is a sort of Portal-esque survival game where you'll go along this huge train as it goes through dimensions, and it is a survival game as well, and you pretty much have little puzzle elements to it, but there's a lot of combat. It's a bit like a BioShock in that respect as well, a bit like Dishonored. If I'm comparing every game under the sun, you can see here we're swimming through space. You'll be zooping along this train, and the idea is that you'll solve puzzles as it stops, collect and upgrade the train, because I think it's your train, it's like your base, you've got to protect it, and yeah, you'll be shooting all sorts of enemies and going through portals. I like this a lot. Now, it hasn't actually got a release date on Steam till 2022, so this isn't going to launch today or in the next few months, but it was announced a while ago it would be coming to Xbox as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I like the look of this. Bit different, bit interesting. Don't know if it's co-op, I'm not sure. But yeah, there's lots of good stuff here. I like the look of this one. I can't wait for this one to give it a shot. Biomutant, yeah, Biomutant was revealed last night. I love Biomutant. I want to cover it badly. They showed off a brand new combat trailer last night. It looked great. It looked fantastic. I will be all over that in the future. I haven't got time today though to cover that shit. And then I guess the last thing to note is that Rust. I told you guys yesterday or the day before that Rust is coming this week with some sort of announcement. Well, now I've just twigged that on the page we looked at, the ID program, it did have 11 there. So I'm pretty much going to predict today we're going to get a proper release date of the game. That's what I'm predicting today. I could be wrong. Where's it gone? There it is there. So if you want more info on that, the beta has been extended. They've got an extra week of closed beta. And then I guess we'll get an announcement today that it might be open for more people to try. Maybe it'll only be for Xbox people to try. I doubt it, because they've been having it on PlayStation as well. But they've obviously got some sort of marketing deal with Xbox. It will be out on both systems. And I guess that leads me on to the last part, which is, yeah, really focusing on saying that the future of survival games looks like it's going to be Xbox again. Like, I'm not I don't get paid by Xbox. I mean, I'll tell you guys if I would. I like PlayStation, I like Xbox. But just like it was with Ark and Conan and DayZ, all three of them games appeared on Xbox before they did with PlayStation. It's going to be like that for the next generation as well. Last OASIS on Xbox first. It's looking likely that Ark 2 is an Xbox exclusive. We don't know how long for. It could be forever. I doubt it, but it'll probably be at least a year. So that's another one that's going to be an exclusive. Stalker 2, exclusive or coming out to Xbox first. Other games like Rust clearly have some sort of preferential treatment for Xbox or marketing. So yeah, it's interesting to see, again, that another second generation is going to be ruled by Xbox in terms of survival. If you want to play survival games, I definitely recommend getting an Xbox somehow, if you like all that kind of games. So yeah, let me know what you think about all that stuff. Mortal Online 2, yeah, I've seen a little bit of that. Not really my huge type of game, but it looks alright. Some of them games are a bit too early though. I've got to check them out a bit more. Cat Caller, hello darling. Lee, hello sir. How you doing, mate? But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the stuff that's going on today. So predictions, come back to me tonight and tell me. Come back and find this stream and comment. Is Rust announcing the release date tonight? Is Last OASIS launching today? Are we going to see news or release date about Stalker 2 and Second Extinction? Is that going to be releasing today? I reckon it could maybe have a chance. I think they said Q1 it would be coming as well. There's a bunch of other stuff as well. Apparently they've got interviews with like 100 different developers. So there's going to be all sorts of news about games coming out and stuff like that. I don't know if there's anything else here really though that I may be interested in. XO1 looked okay vaguely from like a few pictures I'd seen on Twitter. But they're the kind of survival-y games I would say keep an eye out for today. So an open beta, I think we're going to get an announcement later tonight. Fantastic, Will. That's what I think we'll get. I think we'll get a release date tonight, a full one, or at least a open beta stage where anyone that can join up, maybe just by being on the Xbox Insider program, you get a chance to take part. Again, I have to iterate, it is on PlayStation as well, and it will be. But Rust does look like it's got something going on with Xbox, marketing deal and stuff like that too. So yeah, I've got to go, guys. I've got to go and pick my kids up right now. I will have a good weekend off. I'll be back on Monday. I've got an interview with the Valheim developers tomorrow. I've also got more Subnautica, which is free on the PlayStation 4 at the moment. I know I just kicked PlayStation in the teeth, but they have got Subnautica free at the moment. Go and check out my guides if you want more help on Subnautica. Go and download it on the PlayStation right now. Great game, one of the best survival games out there. And yeah, I'll be back with that interview tomorrow and a bunch of other good stuff over the weekend. I'll catch you lot